Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Here is Dylan and today we are going to talk about how to grow your practice without burning out. So have you ever noticed how the more your practice grows, the more you start to disappear? So you begin with passion, with purpose, you want to help, to contribute and to create a meaningful life. But somewhere along the way, the days start to blend together and clients back to back, notes unfinished, and meals skipped. And the quiet joy that once filled your work starts to feel replaced by pressure. So you tell yourself it's just a busy season, but the truth is it's not a season, it's a system. So most therapists never burn out because of too many clients. They burn out because their practice grows faster than their nervous system can adapt. And what no one tells you is that growth without boundaries is just a slow form of collapse. And I have seen this pattern again and again, kind, capable therapists building beautiful practices only to find themselves secretly exhausted, resentful, or quietly fantasizing about quitting. And here's the paradox. The same thing that protects your energy also multiplies your growth. And but the ways aren't rules; they are just structures that hold your expansion. So today we are going to connect the dots between your well-being and your business growth as well. So you will discover why your nervous system is your real business partner and how to build a practice that grows with you and not against you. And by the end, you will walk away with one simple but quite powerful system. A weekly ritual that keeps you in control of your time, your emotions, and your direction. So, because the truth is that your success should never come at the cost of your peace and your soul and your family, and you see what I mean. So, why growth without boundaries fails? So, when most therapists think about burnout, they picture exhaustion. But burnout doesn't start in exhaustion, it starts in misalignment. So, it begins quietly. You accept one more client because you don't want to disappoint that client. And you skip a break because it's only 15 minutes. And you answer a message at night because they really needed me. And none of those actions seem dramatic, but together they create a leak in your energy system. And I call these leaks micro betrayals because they are just small moments where you say yes to others while silently saying no to yourself. And over time, they of course accumulate. And you wake up tired, you overthink simple decisions, you start resenting your own calendar. And the problem isn't that you care too much, but it's that your practice is built on emotional generosity instead of energetic sustainability. And you became self employed to gain freedom, yet many end up recreating the same patterns they escaped from overbooking, overbooking, sorry, guilt around saying no, and blurred lines between me and my work. So what's really happening underneath is that when your practice grows but your boundaries don't, your nervous system is constantly running in threat mode. So even when things are going well, your body experiences it as too much. So you can't expand sustainably when your nervous system feels unsafe, of course. So this is why so many therapists hit invisible ceilings. They reach a point where they physically can hold more clients, more visibility, or more responsibility, not because they are unmotivated, but because they are overstimulated. So the symptom looks like procrastination or fatigue, but the root cause is a capacity mismatch. So your system can hold the level of growth you are trying to achieve. So let me give you a simple image. Imagine your practice as a container, and every time you grow, more clients, more visibility, more opportunities, you pour more water in that container. But if your boundaries are cracked, the water leaks out faster than you can pour it in. So you don't need to hustle harder, you just need to repair the container. And the repair begins when you stop asking, how can I do more? And start asking, How can I make my system capable of holding more? And the truth is, your activity grows at the speed of your nervous system because both are interlinked. So every therapist has two parallel systems, and an external one, your clients, your schedule, your marketing, and an internal one, your emotions, your energy, and your boundaries. So if one grows faster than the other, the whole structure becomes unstable. But the good news are that when you bring them back into balance, your growth becomes effortless again. So that's what we will do next. We will explore the paradox that boundaries, instead of limiting you, are actually the structure that allows you to expand without breaking and without burning out. So, the paradox of boundaries and growth. So, most therapists think boundaries are about protection, but the truth is, boundaries are just about expansion. And a healthy boundary isn't a wall that keeps life out, and it's a framework that lets life flow through you without flooding you. And you should think of boundaries as the architecture of energy. So, just like a house needs walls to hold its shape, your activity needs limits to hold its power. So, let's put that into a simple formula I made that I called the boundaried business equation. So, your energy capacity times your focus time equal sustainable growth. So if your energy is low, even 40 hours of work will produce little output. But if your focus is scattered, even high energy will create chaos. But when both align, when your energy is protected and your time is intentional, your growth compounds effortlessly. So every thriving practice you admire is not powered by hustle, but it's powered by rhythm. So to make this real, let's take an example. Therapist A works 6 days a week, accepts every inquiry, answers messages at night, and tells herself she's being flexible. She earns 3,000 a month and feels constantly drained. Therapist B works 3.5 days a week, starts sessions at 10 a.m., stops at 5 p.m., and reviews her week every Friday afternoon. She earns 6,000 a month and feels grounded. So what changed? Not talent, not luck, but just structure, just the system. So Therapist B expanded her capacity by introducing clear hedges, a fixed number of sessions per week, no message policy outside working hours, and a weekly See You Friday ritual to reset her system. So boundaries didn't shrink her business, but they double it. Because every time you protect your capacity, you increase your reliability. So clients feel it, they sense grounded presence instead of hidden resentment. And that presence is magnetic and it becomes your best marketing. And so the paradox is this. When you learn to stop leaking your energy, your visibility naturally rises. So you show up calmer, clearer, and more consistent. You speak from fullness instead of fatigue. And growth without boundaries is reaction, but growth with boundaries is creation. And the moment you treat your time, your calendar, and your nervous system as sacred assets, your practice begins to organize itself around your peace instead of your panic. And so now that you understand this principle, let's move into something more practical, a simple system that keeps all of this alive week by week. And it's called the CEO Friday Ritual, and it's the heartbeat of every boundaried business I have ever seen. So let's develop the CEO Friday Ritual. So every thriving practice has one invisible habit behind it. So it's not better marketing, it's not a fancier website, it's a rhythm, a system, a weekly conversion between you and your activity. And I call that the CEO Friday Ritual. So most therapists end the week in reaction, tired, scattered, and ready to forget everything until Monday. But if you can invest just 45 to 60 minutes every Friday, you can completely change the trajectory, yes, of your practice. So this ritual does three things. It closes your emotional and energetic week, It helps you make objective decisions from a calm mind, and it resets your focus so that your business services you and not the other way around. So let's go step by step. So step one is reflect and don't react. So start by taking a breath or even few breaths. Open your notebook or your See Your Friday document and create one. So write down 3 prompts every Friday. What gave me energy this week? What drained me? And what am I avoiding? And don't overthink about it. Just observe, just take time, and just think about your week and make no judgments, no negative comments. Just focus and take time to analyze that week. And self-awareness is really the first step. The first step to many things and also to change and to make improvements. So yeah, just take time and make no judgments. Just observe yourself. And you will start to see patterns emerge, the clients, habits, or tasks that lift you, and the ones that quietly deplete you. So those patterns are not random. They are signals showing where your systems need improvements. Step 2, review the numbers. So next, bring in objectivity. Check 3 basis metrics. The number of sessions this week, the total revenue this week, and the hours worked. And then ask yourself, is my income aligned with my energy? Because if your numbers are rising but your energy is dropping, then you are growing in the wrong direction, obviously. So this is where many therapists get trapped, chasing external growth without internal data. So when you track both, you start managing your activity like a system, like a business, and not a storm. Step 3, refocus on what matters. So now that you have reflected and reviewed, it's time to refocus. So choose your one thing for the next week, the single priority that would make the biggest difference if completed. It could be write my new Google business description, redesign my client onboarding mail, take one full day off to rest, or just take time a bit more with your family. Whatever it is, make it measurable and aligned with your current season. So, because focus isn't about doing more, it's just about doing what matters right now. Step 4, reset your nervous system. So before you close your laptop, end your week consciously. Light a candle, take a short walk, stretch, or simple breath. Let your body know that the week is complete. So this one act, the ritual of closure, trains your nervous system to separate you from your professional activity. And that separation is vital and it is what keeps you creative, calm, and clear on Monday morning. So over time, this 1 hour ritual becomes the foundation of your freedom and your soul. Because you are no longer operating from chaos, you have a system and you are leading from clarity. And the more consistent you become, the more your activity starts to stabilize around that grounded energy. And this is the paradox that most people never discover. The more you step back to review and to work on self-awareness, the faster you move forward. So that's why I always tell therapists and people in general that you can't grow what you don't reflect on. And so before you add another strategy or marketing tactic or whatever, make sure you have built this one small ritual once a week. And it's the quiet power behind every sustainable practice. And I would say, even in life in general, I think it's really important to take a little moment each week to reflect on everything happened during that week and to feel calm, to just to reflect. And yeah, as I said, because self-awareness is really the first step to better future and to make new changes. So to finish this video, let's take a moment to pause. You have just learned something that most therapists never consciously integrate, that your peace is not a reward for success, but it's the foundation of it. And you can have the most ethical marketing strategy, the best website, and a calendar full of clients. If you are constantly stretched beyond capacity, your activity will start to eat the very life it was meant to serve. And that's why this message matters, because the next stage of your growth doesn't require more effort. It requires more intentional space. Boundaries, rhythm, reflection, these are not soft concepts, but they are business infrastructure. And every Friday that you review, refocus, and reset, you are quietly expanding your capacity. And your nervous system learns safety, your business learns stability, and your clients feels the difference because they feel your grounded presence. And because when you are regulated, your practice becomes regulated as well. So as you finish this video, I want you to remember this simple equation. Peace times structure equals sustainable growth. So growth that nourishes you, growth that lasts, growth that doesn't ask you to sacrifice your health, your time, your family, your evenings, and your joy. And if this message resonates, and that you want to build a practice that grows with you and not against you, then I would love to invite you to join Therapist Café, and it's my free school community where you can meet therapists and coaches and just gather to share insights, tools, and support each other, because I feel it's really powerful to be in a group and yeah, to help each other. So if you think that this idea is great for you, then don't hesitate to join that group. So I hope that you like this video, and if you do, then you can put a like, follow me, and let's meet each other for the next video very soon.